Tonight, several wildfires are burning thousands of acres of land across eastern Washington, prompting evacuations and threatening homes. What started as a house fire near Cheney turned into a fast-moving brush fire. Meantime, in Stevens County, a wildfire that started near Ford is now spreading quickly. That's also impacting the Loon Lake and Clayton areas. In Okanagan County, the Muckamuck fire exploded last night, causing an entire town to evacuate. Good evening, and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 6 tonight. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
It's good to have you here tonight. I'm Whitney Ward. We begin in Stevens County, where there are now several evacuation orders in place. This is for the Ford Corkscrew fire. It includes level 3 evacuations, which mean those people need to get out right now.
Our Joshua Robinson is live near the fire tonight. Joshua, what do residents need to know?
Mark, Whitney, yeah, we are live at the Clayton Fairgrounds right now, and as you mentioned, level 3 evacuations are in place, but there are also level 2 and level 1 evacuations, and what everyone here is really paying attention to is how fast these changes are happening. I'm going to step out of the way and let you see how close we are to the fire. We've been watching here as the fire has continued to flare up every few minutes or so right along the hillside, but that smoke is so thick it is literally blanketing out the sun from where we're standing. But we've seen people parked along Highway 395, whether they are evacuated or just watching the site. But from the east side of the fire, yeah, it is a whole different view for people that are just trying to figure out what they need to do in terms of their evacuation notices. We also want to let you know that neighbors have been telling us that the community is already reaching out to help each other. One person told me that they're just sitting watching their neighbor's property as they got their own level 3 evacuation, and they're just making sure they allow them time to get settled before they make any other sudden moves. Another neighbor telling us that basically she's getting regular calls from the county. She actually just a few minutes ago was told that she was elevated to level 2 evacuation. So it's a scene that is changing rapidly. Now we have some information for you tonight, because if you have any animals or livestock, we are being told the best place for you to bring them is the Clayton Fairgrounds. Just bring them. Come here and they will make accommodations for you. Also, if you're looking for any other kind of help, we've reached out to the Double Eagle Pond on Main in Deer Park. They have told us that they have a team of volunteers ready and waiting to help you with anything you need. But yeah, you can see live here, we've got the smoke just miles away from us right now. It is a continually changing situation, especially in terms of those evacuation notices. So keep your eyes on KREM.com and our KREM 2 mobile app, and we'll update you on the latest information as it comes into our newsroom. It is a continually changing situation, so keep your eyes here, and we'll let you know the latest. But for now, reporting live, Joshua Robinson, KREM 2 News.
Joshua, thank you so much for the update. And evacuations are also happening in the area where that fire started near Ford.
KREM 2's Ian Smay was there today and spoke with people who nearly lost their home.
Fire officials said earlier today that they estimated the size of the Ford Corkscrew fire at 5,000 acres, and crews believe that it has actually grown by a couple thousand more acres by now. If it has grown that much, it is about twice the size of Cheney. And as the fire started yesterday, some people watched as the flames raced towards their homes. Kadena Francis went outside to check her laundry yesterday afternoon near the town of Ford. Instead, she found a fast-moving wildfire.
Went out to check our laundry and smelled the massive smoke and looked out the back door and saw it. I ran out front, saw the huge plume just over the rise there, and that was about it.
Kadena and her husband Tracy had to rush to gather their stuff as the Ford Corkscrew fire moved closer.
Well, the first thing you do is you panic.
Yeah. You panic and you think, what do I absolutely need to get out of here? You know, certain paperwork, titles to vehicles, get our dogs out of here.
They say the flames from the fire almost took out their home, and so much more.
Well, it was pretty wild. We got lucky. I mean, really. It was like a matter of perfect timing. We almost lost the house, the shop, the whole neighborhood.
They weren't the only lucky ones. The Cummings family lives right down the road. They shared these photos showing just how close the flames got. Unfortunately, one of their barns was among those lost in the fire so far. At least one abandoned home has been destroyed as well. Fire officials also say they have received reports of more buildings lost, but they don't have an official count. Part of the reason people were able to save their homes was through the help of the community.
You know, I had a friend bring a 400-gallon water tank up with a gas pump. So I was out there with a hose too.
Airplanes and helicopters have been on scene so far today. Fire officials say crews from the Washington Department of Natural Resources, the Spokane Tribe of Indians, and local agencies from Spokane and Stevens counties are on scene. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. The fire is still 0% contained, and I can tell you that at times today, the winds have picked up, which is not making life any easier for fire crews out here. Reporting in Ford, Ian Smay, KREM 2 News.
And the Spokane County Sheriff's Office is also asking people boating on Long Lake to avoid that entire area between Tum Tum and the Long Lake Dam.
Crews helping fight the Ford Corkscrew fire are scooping up water from the lake, but are having difficulty due to boats in the way, they said. Authorities asking you to avoid the area for the rest of today and for tomorrow. Meantime, level 3 go now evacuations in place for residents living between Scotty Dog Lane, Pine Meadows Lane, and Hanson Pond Lane in Cheney due to a house fire that quickly became a brush fire.
Our Casey Decker just arrived on scene there. He also has more details at this hour. Casey?
Yeah, guys, this is pretty significantly, I would say, east of Cheney. The way we got here, I'll just tell you, is you kind of just come down 195, and it's about halfway between Spokane and Spangle, and then we're just a little bit west of 195, and you can take a look behind us here. They've set up a pretty wide perimeter around this fire. We actually hit that roadblock up there. You can see those police cars, and then behind those cars, over that ridge, is where you can see some trees and a little bit of smoke there, as well as this pickup truck drives in front of us. We're told right now that this fire is about 300 acres. That's up from about 150 just a couple hours ago. So clearly a pretty fast moving fire, although not super massive right now. We have seen some air support on scene, a couple helicopters and planes and whatnot. And like you mentioned, there are some level 3 go now evacuations in the area. From what we've seen, a lot of this area does appear to be pretty open, pretty rural. So hopefully not too many structures in the way right now. But that's about all the information we have at the moment. Again, you can see this fire just in Spokane County right now. Again, a pretty wide perimeter around the scene. And that's the information that we have at the moment. I'll send it back to you guys.
Casey Decker live near Cheney tonight. Casey, thank you very much. Meantime, a fire being called the 25-mile fire is prompting evacuations in Chelan. At least 100 homes and structures are now under level 3 evacuation orders near Lake Chelan. The 25-mile fire started yesterday afternoon. It's already burned about 4,000 acres. One home was destroyed overnight, and right now it is 0% contained.
The Muckamuck fire has been burning near Concanully in Okanagan County. That one's been burning since August 4th. Last night it took off, though, leading to those level 3 get out now evacuations for basically the entire town of Concanully and much of the surrounding area as well. So from 9 o'clock last night to this morning, the fire more than tripled in size from about 2,000 acres to well over 8,000. Neighboring fire districts were able to step in and help protect the town. They were already nearby working on the Cedar Creek and Cub Creek fires. Officials say residents, though, in that area should evacuate towards Omak. Well, today is our last expected day in the 90s before a week-long cool down. So Thomas Patrick is joining us now from the Outdoor Weather Center. Curious, of course, how this wind may play into all of these fires that continue to burn around the area.
Yeah, and we know that wind is going to drive a lot of high fire danger, and a lot of the active fires are taking advantage of that for today. Thankfully, cooler weather, yes, is on the way. One of the things that we can do from our position in the Weather Center is track these smoke plumes, because the more smoke that these fires are producing is usually a good indication of just how aggressive some of these fires are as well. The Ford Corkscrew fire appears to be the most aggressive of any that are in our area. Look at this huge smoke plume that is just pretty much blanketing northern Spokane County, southern Pend Oreille County as well. So obviously that one is very aggressive. We saw from our live shots just a moment ago just how much of the sky that smoke is currently taking up. But air quality today has overall improved for the most part. Obviously some areas in northern Washington, North Idaho, still in that unhealthy for sensitive groups to unhealthy category because they are downwind from some of these fires, because the winds are pretty much straight out of the west for today. Wind gusts at around 25 to 30 miles per hour and sustained winds at least of 15. Our temperatures were in the 90s today, but we are looking at a big cool down for tomorrow. Look at this, 70s and even 60s for the high temperatures, not lows, highs for tomorrow. So obviously the wind is fueling some of that change, but we're also tracking some rain and thunderstorm chances for tomorrow as well. So I'll show you how widespread that'll be and the time frame for any of this rainfall this week.
Sounds good, Thomas. Thank you very much.
My baby. Oh, I'm so glad you're okay.
Spokane police are investigating the Browns Addition apartment fires as a homicide. The early morning fire killed 2 people in the Tiffany Manor apartments near Coeur d'Alene Park.
KREM 2's Amanda Rowley is sharing the latest now on how those who narrowly escaped were able to do so with help from Good Samaritans.
At this time, we still do not know what caused the fire here at the Tiffany Manor Apartments in Browns Addition, but we do know the 2 people who died in the fire lived on the top floor. Now, Spokane Police Major Crimes Unit is investigating this as a homicide because of that and because of the circumstances surrounding this fire. Residents of the Tiffany Manor apartment say they did not wake up to a fire alarm this morning.
Pounding on our window.
Someone who did not live there alerted Brandy Tilborg and her family to the fire in their building. She lives on the bottom floor and could not escape out the front, so they climbed out the back. When they got out, she realized one member of her family was missing.
He's half Chihuahua, half Italian Greyhound. His name is Sean Onions, and I set him down and he just got scared and took off.
Brandy and her neighbors spent the whole morning searching for her dog.
All the material stuff I can replace, but I can't replace my dog.
But just before noon, Brandy's fear for the worst vanished.
Oh my God.
Someone found Sean Onions crouched underneath a car near the apartment building.
I thought he was gone forever, and it's the only thing I cared about.
But not everyone made it out of the fire this morning. Spokane Fire Department confirms 2 people who lived on the top floor of Tiffany Manor died. But that does not mean the Good Samaritans who pounded on the windows didn't do their best to help them.
On the second balcony, there was a girl that didn't want to jump, so I was just trying to come on, you gotta jump, and I put my bags down so maybe she would land on the bags, and she finally jumped after I talked her into it. And then on the side of the building, there's windows, and so I started pounding on windows.
Hattie Lynn Balcom was with her boyfriend and a friend when they pounded on the windows this morning. They don't live in the building. She told me they moved from place to place with a couple of bags. The families who escaped the fire say she is a hero.
I don't know if I'm a hero. It's just automatic. It made me cry when people told me that. But that's not what I did it for. I did it because that's the right thing. That's what people are supposed to do. We need more of that in the world.
Yeah, we do need more people like her. And because she did the right thing, Brandy's family have all that matters to them today. Each other.
I feel like everything's gonna be fine now.
No, that's how I felt the same way.
We've got our whole family back.
If you are in need of a place to stay tonight or some resources to get you on your feet, the Red Cross asks you to call them at 1-800-RED-CROSS. Reporting in Browns Edition, Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
And still to come tonight on KREM 2 News, the body of a hiker who went missing 2 years ago was found. Coming up, how family members are remembering her.